Hey everybody, it's Jim from Cigars and Other Dude Stuff. Today I am smoking the Aroma de Cuba Pasion. And I guess that means passion because my father Cigars, who makes this for Ashton Distributing, who sells the La Aroma line, has a passion for a particular type of tobacco, the Numanji area of Nicaragua, which is a relatively unknown growing area in Nicaragua. And it's on a mountainside. It is a shade grown Cuban seed wrapper. That's very interesting. Although we'd categorize it as a shade wrapper, this is not going to be a Connecticut shade mild cigar. It's billed as medium full. My history with this cigar is I've had a few of these. I didn't find it particularly memorable, but I thought I'd give this one a try again because I really do like the La Aroma line. It's got 7 different entries in it. I'm going to do a video in a week or two rating the 7 different entries that they have in their line because I think it's a very interesting company. I'm not a big fan of the parallel Cuban brands, and this is a parallel Cuban brand. Unlike some of the other ones like the Cohiba New World brand where they kind of appropriated and stole the brand name from Cuba. This was done fair and square. And the Levin family, who's the distributor of Ashton Cigars and La Aroma de Cuba, actually got the trademark legally for this for the New World market. If you were looking overseas for these, it is the La Aroma de Caribe. They use a different name because they're La Aromas de Cuba cigars that are actually made in Cuba that are sold in some other countries. The La Aroma line has been around since 2002, but this particular version of it has only been around since, I think, 2022 it was introduced. This is a Corona Gordo size, which is about, I think, 5 5/8 inches by 46 gauge or something like that. I think there's 6 or 7 different vitolas of this particular cigar available. It was also rated in 2024, I think number 11 by Cigar Aficionado. And I got to tell you, I did a review, remember, a few weeks ago on the My Father, the Judge, and it was quite a stinker. And I actually had another My Father, the Judge of a different vitola in my humidor, and I pulled it out a few days ago and tried that. And let me tell you, I would have given that one a worse review. So I talk about Cigar Aficionado reviews, take it with a grain of salt. I look at it as kind of a common reference point where you can look it up and read about it and stuff too. But take it for what it's worth. So I don't know if I'm creating low expectations in this cigar, but we'll see. Let me get this lit up and I'll get back to you in a few minutes. All right, I am back smoking this La Aroma de Cuba Pasion, and I gotta say I like the cigar. It has burned pretty fast, though. We are about only a half an hour, and this is Corona, so it's not expected to last that long. But about a half an hour in, and getting down pretty close to the end here. I posted a couple pictures. Started out with a little bit of canoeing that I had to do one relight, and it kind of fixed itself. After that, it was smooth sailing. Drawing this, it was packed pretty loose. I didn't mention that earlier. But it's a little bit loose packed, and I think that's one reason it burns a little bit fast. But the draw is exemplary on it, exactly the way I like it. Some people would probably say it's too loose, but for my taste, that's the kind of draw I want. Flavor-wise, I really did like it. It started out good. It started out really good, and that's something I think that's important. There's nothing I like more than a cigar that starts out the first few puffs and go, oh man, that tastes really good. And it held in there the whole way. It is pretty much leather. Leather, I think, is the predominant taste to it, the base, but some nuts thrown in there, a little bit of coffee. I did a retrohale and really got a nuts and coffee flavor profile to it. A little bit of sweetness, just enough to make it interesting. So I really like that about it as well. It's billed as a medium full cigar, and I read a review where they said it was really medium full plus. I'm not getting that. I think it's medium plus. And there's a little spice in there, but again, not too much. And smoking experience, I got to give this an 8. I really think it's a pretty good cigar. Cost-wise, I was kind of surprised because I was looking around at some pricing in online sources and whatnot, and it was coming out to 10 or 12 bucks in box quantities and 12 to 15 in 5 packs. And I was really surprised when I looked at this. I bought this at a local cigar store about 2 months ago, so it's been resting about 2 months. And I looked at it, it was $9.75, which, man, that's not a bad price for a cigar like this. So if you can snag one at that price, or I know La Aroma de Cuba does some samplers as well. So if you can get your hands on one at a reasonable price, I think it's definitely a cigar worth trying. All right, that's all I got today. From Cigars and Other Dude Stuff, I will see you next time.